Hi, my name is Dr. Felucia, and I'm a licensed psychologist. And today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between toxic positivity and spiritual abuse. Toxic positivity is using the perceived value of positivity to avoid reality. Nobody on the surface will argue about positivity being a positive or valued trait. Yet, those who engage in toxic positivity believe in being positive at all costs, including at the cost of being genuine, being sympathetic, or addressing the real root or source of a problem. In an environment where people live by the rule of toxic positivity, difficult emotions such as anger, sadness, and grief, they're not allowed. And if they are, it's in really small doses. And it's always at the expense of mantras and cliches that I'm sure you heard, such as think on the bright side, everything happens for a reason. Things like that, it's not all that bad. You could be worse off. And I'm sure we've all been there, been in situations where we've heard these things said to us. And even at times, we are guilty of making these mistakes, perhaps out of ignorance, discomfort with our own challenging emotions at the time, or just in a frantic effort to make the person who's sad feel better. However, people who engage in toxic positivity as a practice really have little concern in relating to those people around them. They look at appearance, rather the appearance of being positive as a reflection of how moral they are as a person. So they're really kind of equating positivity and morality. Anything that's positive is good. Anything that makes you feel bad or anything that's negative is bad or reflection of someone's weak character. Okay. People who engage in toxic positivity as a way of relating to others don't make room for multiple and even conflicting emotions, right? So to someone like this, they can accept the fact that bitter can exist with sweet, sorrow with joy, optimism with caution. Okay. And for more videos about toxic positivity, they are on the channel. So if you just search by the title, you'll see them. Okay. Now, I've taken a little bit of time to explain what toxic positivity is, but how does this relate to spiritual abuse? Well, in a spiritually abusive environment, spirituality is used as a weapon to harm others or to cause burdens. Spiritual authority, whether it's real or perceived, is used to manipulate and control other people instead of bringing peace to them and freedom and independence. So, in the spiritually abusive environment, the imperative to remain positive, no matter what, is used as a weapon to crush those people who are already down. After all, like I said before, who can argue with being positive, especially where spirituality is concerned? Spirituality and the perception of positivity go hand in hand. And so, therefore, when someone insists that you need to remain positive at all times, it prevents you from addressing the real problem and the real source of the issues. It covers over real injustices and hurts and problems that need to be addressed. And so anyone, if you think about the way a spiritually abusive environment works, anybody who brings up something that offended them, something that they were hurt by, something that's just wrong or unhealthy is viewed as critical, divisive, judgmental, and even sometimes they're threatened that, you know what, if you bring this up or if you think negatively about this situation, if you express any hurt or anger, then judgment is going to come upon you, which is just a real terrible way of relating to people, especially from a spiritual perspective. But that occurs to people, or that occurs in situations where spiritual abuse and toxic positivity are rampant. And so, for people, the way toxic positivity works in a spiritually abusive system is it maintains this an inauthentic appearance. I have a video on spiritual abuse in which I address some of the rules that happen in the spiritually abusive system, but one of them is appearance over authenticity. And so in a situation like this, when somebody is bringing up feelings like anger, anxiety, sadness, in a spiritually abusive environment, this is looked at as Weakness, it's looked at as a reflection of poor moral character. And in a spiritually abusive system, it's looked at as a reflection. It's looked at as reflecting poorly on the value of the system. And so again, spiritually abusive systems, it's all about appearance. It's all about looking good. It's all about protecting the spiritually abusive leader's ego. Or, if you think about it, the ego and appearance of the whole system, it has to be looked at as perfect and free from flaws. Okay. So, if you think about it, let's say there's a situation, I'll give you an example here, a situation where somebody brings up something that happened, right? Something's not going right. There is an injustice. There is abuse of power. Somebody did something and needs to be addressed, right? The person who brings this up is often felt further victimized when toxic positivity is being weaponized in a spiritually abusive system. So they may be told things like, well, you know what, the suffering you're going through or the injustice or the hurt that you're going through is only there to build you up spiritually, right? Or, hey, none of us are perfect. We all need grace. And while those statements may be true in and of themselves, they don't address the root of the problem, right? If someone brings up an injustice or something that was done that was wrong, telling someone, well, you know what, this will help you grow spiritually, or we're all imperfect, we all make mistakes, doesn't address what was done, right? It doesn't value the person who's been victimized. But again, it goes back to the rule of appearance over true authenticity. And in spiritually abusive systems, toxic positivity is used as a way to dismiss the concerns and hurts of people so that the system and the leaders are looked at as perfect and not having any problems or any capability of making mistakes. Okay, so and also when this is done, it fails to hold perpetrators accountable. So I've heard, countless stories of people in spiritually abusive systems who the system will use toxic positivity as a way of keeping them silent. It's used as a shield to protect the leaders, and it's also used as a deflection away from the real ugly problems and abuses that are going on in the system. Okay, so for more information on the topics of spiritual abuse and toxic positivity, look in the channel title, look in the video titles in the channel. And if you would like a one-on-one consultation that is free for you to explore some questions or concerns you have about spiritual abuse, go to my website, skillsetcounseling.com, or you can click on the link in the description box to go ahead and book that consultation. And if you are experiencing any sort of abuse, please get help immediately. I have resources also in the description box. All right. May you have a peaceful day. Goodbye. Bye-bye.